Hello everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Blue Phoenix here with another in-depth review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hasbro's spinning web launcher. It's basically a small toy that shoots web projectiles. And the packaging is pretty nice. And this web shooter was modeled off the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, the Spider-Man who's played by Tom Holland. And it shoots these 3 web projectiles. So that's pretty cool. But I picked up a second one as well because I wanted to have 2 web shooters. And I was exploring the possibility of this being a prop for a cosplay or a costume, because the web shooter itself actually looks pretty movie accurate. But I will also be testing the functionality of it as a toy as well. So, let's get this thing open. So, here I'm opening the package. And the web shooter's loose, and one of the projectiles is loose, but the 2 other web shots are secured. So make sure you don't lose the first one when you open it. So let's get a closer view of this web projectile that came with the toy. So the web projectile looks pretty cool, and the rim of it is made from a plasticky, flexible plastic, and it kind of gives it that web-like feel. So that's nice, and I think it'll hurt less if this is this type of plastic, although there is still some hard plastic on it. Obviously the bottom and the middle. It seems to be the trigger mechanism for it to spin, so that's cool. And the toy actually comes with 3, so that's good. If you lose one, you got 2 more to go. And these 2 are strapped in. I don't know why the first one wasn't. And here is the actual web shooter itself. The web shooter is pretty nice. It looks pretty movie accurate. And upon inspection, it's pretty detailed too. It has a lot of detail in the web shooter itself. Of course, there's the strap, which isn't as movie accurate, but I also noticed there was a small discrepancy in the paint job right here. It's a little red on the black, and there was also a little black splotch on the red over here. So that was unfortunate, but it was a minor detail that can't really be seen from a distance. And also, if you were to use this for cosplay, I think either way you'd have to paint it, because if you wanted to make it more movie accurate, unlike these other Hasbro web shooters, you'd have to paint it. So the construction is pretty solid overall. The plastic strap is pretty hard plastic. It seems like it's not going to break. The web shooter itself also had hard plastic. I was pretty impressed with the construction. I was expecting it to be more of a cheap plastic, I suppose. I wasn't expecting much out of a child's toy, but it turned out to be good. And the strap actually turned out to fit my adult wrist. Well, my wrist is pretty small actually, but there's enough room to fit an adult and a child. So I was impressed with that as well. And here it is on my hand. It looks very movie accurate, actually. It's not exactly a replica, but it's pretty nice. And time to test its functionality. So yeah, it shoots. So it was kind of off camera here, but it actually shot pretty far, farther than I expected. So I had to go get that web shot that I shot over there. And if you wanted to use it as cosplay and you didn't want the strap to stick out, perhaps you could cut it or take out the entire strap and make one yourself, if you wanted to make it more movie accurate. You could salvage the actual web shooter itself. But overall, it's a pretty nice web shooter, and it will go well if you have a Spider-Man Homecoming costume, because this is the Homecoming web shooter, or it's based off that, and it looks pretty nice. So if you want to use it for cosplay, this would be nice. It's definitely cheaper than other replica web shooters that you might get. For example, the RPC Studio costs like $100 for, I don't know, a pair of them, or maybe just for one, I'm not sure. And it actually functions well as a toy and is actually pretty fun. These little holes here are meant for putting your web ammo on there. There's two on two sides of the web shooter. And of course, one would be loaded into it already. So that's pretty nice. Not very movie accurate, but as the functionality of a toy, it's a nice touch. So you can just quickly shoot and reload off your wrist. Very satisfying to shoot this thing. And it goes pretty far. And it also spins. When it spins, it makes kind of a spinning noise. Alright, so let's put these web shooters to the test. I'm going to test out their range and also their functionality as a toy. But also, first I want you to check out, I pulled out both of my web shooters, and the second one works, as you can see. Shoots pretty accurately. I was surprised how accurate it was. But this web shooter that I got was actually better than this one paint job wise. There was less errors, or there was no errors that I could find upon inspecting it. So hopefully if you pick up these web shooters, you'll get two good like this one. Two good ones without any paint errors. And also, of course, that works. In total, I got 6 of these web projectiles because I got 2 of them. And it seems to be like spring loaded, so it has decent range and decent accuracy. And I gotta say, these are pretty fun to shoot. As a toy, I was not expecting them to be as entertaining as they were. I originally got them for the replica look of the web shooters themselves. But I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that these toys were actually pretty entertaining. And here I shot with my left hand with a camera in front of my face, so wasn't my best web shooting. But I got it on the second try. So I guess as it turns out, I'm a right-handed web shooter. But yeah, picking up both of these are pretty nice. They serve good as cosplay and as toys. So if you want to get them for either or, I personally highly recommend it. Overall, very detailed. This one came out with a good paint job, so hopefully you get one like that one, or 2 like that one. And overall, it has a nice look. It functions well. It's pretty fun, and the construction is pretty solid. It's a good plastic. I think it'll last a good long time. So, thank you guys for joining me for this in-depth review. As always, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.